Hi everyone, good day. This time we will discuss operations with complex numbers. Operations with complex numbers. Operations with complex numbers is uh, very simple to do, and we will discuss how to do it, and I will show you some examples. Operations with complex numbers, let's start with adding and subtracting two complex numbers. To add two complex numbers, simply add the real part to the real part and the imaginary part to the imaginary part. So for instance, we have a plus bi, in this example, plus c plus di. So one complex number, another complex number. What we need to do is simply add the real part to another real part, that is a plus c. The real part here is a, the real part here is c. Then we add them together. Then we also add the imaginary parts to the other imaginary part. And we can just simply factor out the I, the imaginary number. So the imaginary part here is bi, here di. So b plus d and I. So for example, we have 2 plus 7i plus 3 minus 4i. So we simply add 2 with 3 and then 7 with negative 4i. And the resulting complex number is 5 plus 3i. Okay, so that's how you add complex numbers. To subtract two complex numbers, subtract the real part from the real part and the imaginary part from the imaginary part. So same, almost the same with addition. However, the operation we perform is subtraction instead of addition. So for instance, we have a plus bi minus c plus di. Take note that the negative here, minus here, involves all the complex numbers c plus di and not just c. So what we need to do is we distribute the negative. Okay, so we distribute the negative. So that is, we have a minus c. So a minus c, and then that is the for the real part, and the imaginary part is b minus d, and then we simply factor out I, so b minus d I. You can also simplify it first before you do the subtraction. So for instance, we have a plus bi minus c plus di. So what we need to do is minus c plus di. So we can we can remove the parentheses, minus c, and then distribute negative di. Okay, so by what we call associative property of addition and subtractions, we have a plus, or a, I'm sorry, a, let me erase first, a, that is a minus c, okay, associative property of addition, plus bi minus di. Okay, so that is a minus c plus, we can factor out I, so what we have here inside is b minus d I. So we have a minus c plus b minus d I. For instance, we have 9 plus bi minus 4 plus 7i. So that is, we take the real parts here and here, so 9 minus 4, and the imaginary parts is 5i minus, so instead of adding 7i, we subtract 7, so 5 minus 7i. So we have 5 minus 2i. Or we can also do it like this. So we remove the parentheses, 9 plus 5i minus 4 minus 7i, and we distribute the negative sign. Okay. And then we group them. We group the like terms. 9 plus 4, I mean 9 minus 4. Then plus 5i minus 7i. Okay, so we have 9 minus 4 is 5. Plus 5 minus 7 is, or we can also do it 5 minus 7 like this, factoring out I. And then we have 5 minus 2i. So this is the answer. So that's how you perform addition and subtraction with complex numbers.